Whew, what a time to be alive. I mean, who would have predicted decades ago that the most exciting vehicle of perhaps a whole generation would be powered by electricity, would come from a startup, and would cost $35,000. Whether we saw it coming or not, it's here. This is the Tesla Model 3, and it's changing transportation as we know it. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about the exterior because I want to get right into the innovative stuff beneath the surface. I will say this. Pictures don't do this car justice. Seeing it in person gives you a new appreciation for the cohesive design Tesla is using right now. It's not an aggressive sports sedan, but it is friendly, it's welcoming, and I really dig it. Reductionist, minimalist, Spartan, all of these words could describe the Model 3 cabin, but none of them adequately convey the fact that there are two, if you break it down, two features on this dashboard: a steering wheel and a tablet. And yet, just these two features are more sophisticated than really any other car on sale. All your controls for how you want to adjust the mirrors or how you want the steering wheel to telescope, all of that is done in here on the screen. So you've got this little car icon down here that you press and you open up this screen called Quick Controls. Now, if I want to adjust the steering wheel, hit the steering wheel button and this makes the wheel go up, down, come out, or go in. When I've finished setting this thing up, this little icon drops down and it says, do you want to save these settings to your driver profile? If you want to, you hit save and automatically it will do that. And that does it even if you're in motion. So if you're changing things while you're driving, you're like, no, I actually do want it here. You just hit save and the next time you get in the car, it will automatically adjust the car to those profile settings. Let's take a second to talk about smartphone integration because Tesla doesn't patch in Apple CarPlay or Android Auto functionality, so you're forced to use their setup. Fortunately, this tablet is so good otherwise that you aren't really in need of other distractions that your smartphone would have, like the mapping function, for example. It's so vivid and so responsive that you're never going to sit there thinking, I really need to look at my smartphone for Google Maps to show up here, because on the display, it's way better than anything you're going to find elsewhere, especially in the car industry, but even for your smartphone. And not only is it powered by Google Maps, it integrates supercharger stations in here, so you can show all of the closest stations, and not just that, you can see how many stalls are available in that station. And better still, if you want to navigate on a long road trip, Tesla will actually set the trip according to staged supercharger stations, so you know that you're going to have enough charge to reach your destination. Now, if you've ever driven an electric vehicle, then the Tesla Model 3 driving experience is going to feel fairly familiar, except for one thing. Most electric cars have some sort of noise to them. There's a whir, there's a buzz, there's something. The Model 3 is dead silent. This is really well put together. I'm extraordinarily impressed. So the way it's damped, the steering response, the braking, the throttle, all of those elements that are essential to a normal production car are done superbly here in the Model 3. It feels so natural to drive it. So we're not gonna have much time on the freeway here, but hopefully it will be enough to show you how autopilot works. And once you see the steering wheel, that means we can turn on autopilot. So I tab down twice on this. Autopilot is engaged. You can see the vehicle finding its way within the lanes. We'll see how it navigates when this other car approaches. See, I didn't touch the brake. It slowed down on its own, and it's still finding its way in the lane. I'm not touching the steering wheel, which is super cool. Very smooth. I've tested a bunch of different vehicles, including Mercedes-Benz and BMW and Porsche, all their systems. Nothing is as seamless as this is. And I could keep my hands off the wheel for a whole nother minute without it even getting frustrated, which at that point it'll start alerting me and doing some other stuff. But let's see how it navigates this. My hands are still not on the wheel. I'm not touching the brake or gas. Look at this. It's staying within its lane as it's turning. How awesome is this? What? That's ridiculous. How cool is that? All right, now it's upset that I haven't touched the wheel in a while, so I will grab the wheel and make sure it knows that I'm there. I didn't touch the brake, gas, or steering wheel for that entire segment once we got on the freeway. That's amazing. Well, one thing is for sure. I've never driven a vehicle like the Tesla Model 3. And that's because it does all of the normal car functions. It gets you from A to B comfortably, efficiently, quickly. But it is future-proofed in a way that no other car can say they are, because all Tesla has to do is send an over-the-air update, and the driving behavior, the autonomous settings of the vehicle, they transform overnight. That's revolutionary.